And you all come here tonight because you know of a shift taking place on the planet. You know of great change and great chaos and tumultuousness. And you know too that there is hope, great hope. And in fact, we would like to offer you to feel faith instead of just hope, because hope always carries with it a slight sense of fear, a slight sense of not being sure. But faith carries you through with certainty. Breathe that in. And notice where faith moves through you and where faith gets stuck. We like to tell you that the planet is waking up in a way in which she hasn't for many, many, many civilizations. She herself has been rather asleep, rather latent. But there are parts of her that are now moving that haven't moved before in so many years. Parts of her that are stirring that have not stirred in so many generations. Veins of gold awakening, the ore within her awakening, coming to life. And as these things, as the minerals within the earth and the rivers of minerals within the earth begin to flow yet again, they bring with them great wisdom, ancient sacred information that will then leach into the soil which grows your food and the water which carries your nutrients. And so you too will begin to absorb this ancient sacred information that has been hidden for so long, certainly throughout this particular incarnation of human beings. And they're showing me our entire civilization. This isn't just that they're not just saying our families, but like literally these last, 10,000 years of humanity has not known this. So humans have been, some connected to the land, indigenous cultures who understood their connection to the planet, but did not understand how to further themselves along technically or technologically. Whereas other humans have been, in some ways, they're using the word bungling, in some ways bungling through existence, feeling no connection to the earth at all. This was an experiment of sorts to see where humanity would take itself. And yet it was shown that without extra guidance, humanity became rather stuck in its own polarity system of negativity. And negativity became rooted in the nervous system and the mind. And as you're seeing now on this planet, the rise of this negativity, the loudness of it, and the availability of it has blossomed or mushroomed because it's all rising to the surface. Ancestral healing, generational healing, lineage healing is being brought up onto the surface for us to look at and understand the wounding that you all have been living through. And there is great healing available for those who reach out for it, who are willing who are ready. There's a huge tension right now between what you see of this negativity and pain rising so loudly and information within the earth awakening. The tension is that they seem that they cannot be in existence at the same time, and it feels confusing that they're both in existence happening together. And yet, of course, as the movement continues through the planet and is felt in the nervous systems and the grid work of the planet, human beings are feeling that information, and it unsettles what has yet to be put away, put to sleep, put to greater health, and given to the light. The information rising up through the earth that you will then be absorbing through the food, through the water, and then eventually just through the air, moving itself into the light grid of the planet, and then into the light grid of your body, which is completely connected to the light grid of the planet, will offer you information about your own divinity and the divinity of the planet, and how all has been created as one, and the wisdom that you hold inside of you for perfecting your body, perfecting your thoughts, your mind, for rebuilding civilization from a place of wisdom and perfect unity. What some of those are, we cannot tell you specifically today, because it's not our responsibility to bring that information forth before the earth herself has taken her time to stretch and move and grow and sprout the information up. But what we can tell you is that there is much for you here as you move forward. And there is much for you that will turn your civilization into an actual civilized society. Because so far, civilized society has been rather sick and has been rather dark. And whether your life has been one that's been blessed or not, know that the majority of energy on this planet has been held in a negative polarity to the light. And this has been because human beings have been living from a place of lack of consciousness around the power that is within and without them. And this power stems from the divinity that exists inside every cell of the body, a consciousness, an intelligence, a knowingness that holds keys and memory that have been long asleep. You know that you are awakening, that something within is stirring, something is changing, something is causing desires that are new and different. And we know this to be true. And we say, breathe into this and recognize that this is keys that are unlocking deeply held secrets. And these secrets have kept you imprisoned in your own mind, and imprisoned in society, and imprisoned in the structures of society. And as more and more come out of this forced sleep, you begin to separate out from these imprisonments and put yourself in a life that feels more aligned as much as possible. This will become more possible over time. We tell you to allow structures and belief systems to fall away. And we recognize clearly that belief systems are so deeply embedded that you don't even know what your belief systems are. And so as you witness structures in society falling apart, and you feel the fear that comes from knowing that, oh my gosh, life will no longer be what I thought it was going to be, understand that these are the belief systems and structures we are talking about. So deeply embedded that they are just merely how you live and how you think you should live. And this comes from, from the most basic belief systems of how you act in public to even deeper held belief systems about what you think society should look like and what you think should be offered to you and everyone else. All the way down to all the judgments that you hold, whether you know you hold them or not. Judgments you hold about people and situations. These will all be dug up and brought into question for you to look at, for human beings to choose new ways, for realizations to come forth of, oh my gosh, I have thought that my whole life, and now suddenly today I see that there is no truth behind that thought. To say that this is a big shift does not in any way touch on what humanity is going to go through over the next 30 to 100 years. Society will be unrecognizable, more peaceful, more integrated into the planet, more at one with the planet and her gifts and her power and her wisdom. And that will be the guidance from which all stems. This will not happen overnight, and for some it will not happen in your particular lifetime, but it is happening. There is no stopping it. The rumblings are already there and are already occurring. And we are here to support you in safety and in love, with open hearts and optimism and faith, that this is one of the most exciting experiences that we have all been waiting for. The time has come that the earth is reawakening in an almost unprecedented way. And we add to this that the earth herself is actually composed of a group of ninth dimensional beings who have come together to create a planet like many other planets have done themselves. And so these beings hold us all and hold this wisdom and hold this energy. And they too have been waiting for the moment when the time is exactly right, as has been stated through cosmic law. And that time is upon us.